Heartbreaking. It was such a fun ride, and I said this.
Not over.
It's not. Yes, it's not over. But I said this on Twitter. I'll say it on this pod for all of our Slovenian listeners. This has been such a blast to root for this Slovenia team over these past few weeks, and I know a lot of fans is probably like, hey, we've been rooting for this national team for a while and Luka for a while. And I just want to say thank you for letting us and so many of us, latch on to your fan base and be a part of this over the past few weeks and embracing a lot of us, allowing us to step into your fan base and cheer on Slovenia and Luka with you guys. And even though we have another game left, I think I can speak for Nick in this of like, you have two new Slovenian, fans here. So we're going to be rooting for Slovenia for a long time. And this is so much fun. Now, I think over these past few weeks, I just want to go to Slovenia now. This is one of my things. I just want to add it to a list of countries I want to visit.
Absolutely. Yeah. I definitely want to go.
Locked On Mavs in Slovenia. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Listeners,
Tim Cato went there. Why can't we go there?
Listeners, let's try to make this happen. What would it take for us to have a live Locked On Mavs in Slovenia?
Wow, that would be amazing. Yeah, comment, let us know. Let us know on Twitter at Locked On Mavs. Yeah, let's talk about it. Slovenia loses to France 90-89. 1 point. Literally just 1 point in the semifinal game that would have sent them to the gold medal game. France now goes and plays the U.S. That one is that was on the gold medal game is 5 p.m. Central Time, USA versus France. And then the bronze medal game, which is Slovenia versus Australia, is 6 a.m. Central Time. So that one will be another early wake-up call for some of us, especially on a Saturday. But we'll be there. We'll be watching. And I also want to echo what Isaac said. Thank you for letting us on the bandwagon, letting us cover this team, and embracing us covering this team. A lot of people were complimentary of how we pronounce names. And like, okay, we try to put some work into it and some look at and you were like, but we weren't getting so much hate about like, oh, how are you jumping on the bandwagon just now just because of Luka and all that. So I really appreciate everybody and all the comments. But yeah, this game, it was a kind of a wild one. There were some major ups and major downs in this game. The early on, it looked like Slovenia was going to at least feel pretty good in this game. Like, oh, France not doing that well. And then all of a sudden in the third quarter, France just had an incredible third quarter. And all the tweets that I was seeing were just everyone saying it's done. Slovenia doesn't have it. They got nothing. France's defense is too stifling. The stifle tower is too much for him. Batum is too much for him. Slovenia can't stop France on the other end. And then it was like a 6-point lead at the end of the third quarter. It was the weirdest thing where everybody that I was seeing, or at least a lot of people I was seeing on Twitter, just felt completely devastated and were completely like, oh, better luck next time, Slovenia. And it was only 6 points. It was just a weird feeling. Sometimes in sports and in basketball, you can just it can just feel so much worse than the actual score is. And I was like, they hit 2 threes. They're right back in this game. They're right back tied. And they ended up doing that. And they got real close at the end. It was a shot from Propelic that got blocked by Batum. Man, that was a close one. But there's something wrong with Luka at the end of the game. Depending on what it was, something was not right with him because it wasn't the Luka Doncic we've come to know and love, right?
Yeah, I think he's dealing with something. He was at the podium after the game with his, his wrist wrapped up, had ice on it. He had that play in which he hit the plexiglass there.
He punched it, he ran into it to try and save the ball and kind of punched it with his hand sort of down like this. If you're watching on YouTube, and yeah, he hurt it. I think he either hurt it there. He could have also just been gassed. He could have also just been conditioning.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of things. I think the conditioning's still there. I think that's a thing. We can't gloss over that.
Yeah.
I think he did get hurt. I think France played decent defense on him. I thought TLC I thought he played really good defense on Luka off the bench. I mean, as soon as he checked into the game, Nick Batum, we know he checked him a lot in the playoffs. And what a cool moment after the game too of Batum and Luka. I even though we've been cheering for Luka, only for a handful of years now, I just feel so invested and connected to Luka to when I see Luka sad and upset and everything. I'm like, I'm sad and upset about Luka. So it was rough seeing Luka on the bench with his towel and everything, and seeing, Nick Batum talking to him after game. I think Luka, referenced it and everything too. So a cool moment between them two, but heck of a play by Batum to block that shot. I didn't think he was going to be able to get to it.
Yeah, man, he almost came out of nowhere, but just the length. And that's why wingspan is a thing, right? That's why we focus on wingspan so much in the draft and focus on it for defensive purposes and all that. Between Batum and Gobert, that's a really good defensive, pairing there. And then adding TLC, Luau Cabarro to that as well. But man, we got to talk about Luka though, because Luka finished the game 16 points, 18 assists. And then he also got the triple-double with the 10 rebounds. Only the third triple-double in the Olympics. There was one in like the 70s. LeBron had one, and then now Luka. That is absolutely incredible that no one else has had one. But I point to Luka. There was something wrong with Luka, and I do think it was conditioning, maybe some of the injury as well. He only took 2 shots in the fourth quarter. Maybe it's just a perfect storm of his conditioning wasn't right. He was frustrated with fouls in the third quarter, and it kind of got to him there. And then the hurt hand a little bit, and then the way that France was defending him. It was just all those things combined to he was passing a lot more. He was distributing a lot more. He took 18 shots, the most on the team, but only 2 of those came in the fourth quarter. And so I think there's something off with him. He passed up a wide open 3, which is what really makes me think there's something going on with him, right?
Yeah.
Because he passed up that 3, but it was a well-played game by France. Nando De Colo just kind of came out of nowhere. They just could not, Slovenia could not stop him getting to the rim at all. Fournier also had a great game as well. Mike Tobey for Slovenia. We got to talk about Tobey from Jersey, according to your nemesis. Did you see that tweet?
No.
In the middle of the game, Kyle Anderson goes, Mike Tobey plays for Slovenia? That boy from Jersey.
That's hilarious.
But Mike Tobey, I thought, had a great game. 23 points, 8 boards. 5 of them were offensive rebounds, and he just him and Luka in the pick and roll, that they were just tearing France apart at the beginning. Even Gobert, they were just picking him apart with that. And it's just like Luka with a pick and roll guy. It's just going to continue to destroy defenses no matter what you do for the next, 15, 20 years.
I mean, you go back to, guys that he's played with. Even you go back and look at, I'm probably going to pronounce his name wrong, Eddie
Tavares.
Yeah. And I mean, a massive dude. You look at Toby, you look at guys, you look at Dwight Powell. I mean, you look at these guys, it's like, when they play with Luka can maximize them and maximize their strengths. And, I mean, Toby versus Gobert, that was a matchup today. Toby had 23 points this game, like you said, but it was wild seeing both teams play the pick and roll thing too, because France was obviously targeting, Toby in the pick and roll, taking advantage of him, trying to guard on the perimeter. Dallas was doing the exact same. Slovenia was doing the exact same thing of, trying to get Gobert switched and all of that. But I thought Slovenia tried to challenge Gobert a little bit too much. It's like, this dude is really good defensively. But you know what? Even on the last play, I didn't see a ton of it, but as soon as the last play happened, I'm like, here we go. There's going to be tweets saying, oh, Luka was afraid of the moment. Luka got double teamed in that moment. Gobert got, switched on it, but then Batum, this is why I say a heck of a play by Batum. Batum, kind of halfway doubled Luka on that, passed it over. Batum recovered in time to block it. And it's just a great play by him. And I mean, just a heck of a run by Luka and these guys. And now they have a chance for bronze. It's not over. I get all of that. But let's go. They got to, Australia's a heck of a team. So that's going to be a tough game for them, but rooting for them, come the weekend, and let's get that first medal for Slovenia.
Yeah, going to be a fun game, hopefully. And it's not over. So we'll see this team one more time, which I'm excited to. I'm glad it's not completely over, because I've had a real fun time watching this team with Dragic and Cancar and, Prepelic.
Rough game for Zoran.
They needed one of those 3 guys. Prepelic got 17 points, so he kind of stepped up there. But they needed Cancar or Dragic to get him 15 or something.
Zoran had 27 points last game. He was 0 for 1 in this game.
He had 1 point off a free throw. He was 1 of 3 from free throw. Something was going on with him too, apparently. And he only played 11 minutes.